Hi guys, I finally got my hands on some of the pre-summer Suqqu collection. I picked up both of the eyeshadow quads. I also picked up both of the singles. I got one lipstick and one blush. I'm going to make two different videos, and today I'm going to concentrate on the quad that has that really beautiful yellow in it. But first of all, I'm going to start with the single. I have seen a couple of videos on this, and for this single, it is a new formula. It is Creme. And when I first saw the promo photos of this, I really wasn't too sure. But when I saw this used with the eyeshadows, I think that these just make the eyeshadows really, really sing. So these are made in Japan, and this has a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening. And this one here that I'm going to use today, this is the warmer of the two. But I'm going to put this on first and use this as a base. Now, I've seen people put this on a couple of different ways. Some people have used a brush and others have used a finger. I understand, I haven't even tried this yet. You can see it's in pristine condition. So I will try this first using a brush, and then if I have to, I will use my finger to put it on. So I'll just hold it up with the lights down a little bit before I start swatching this. This is, as I was saying, the warmer of the two singles, and this is a golden beige colour. So this is a cream formula, and it feels sort of slightly tacky, so I can understand why people have probably used their fingers when applying it. And you can see that it blends out, and because it is tacky, I can see why it would work really great as a base before applying the eyeshadow. So I've already got all my base makeup on, foundation, powders, eyebrows done, and bronzer. I am wearing a Suqqu foundation. Everything that I'm putting on my face today, I will have listed and linked down below. So I'm going to take a Sonia G. This is one of her eye brushes, and this is from her Fusion series. And I'm just going to try it with this first and see how this applies. So I'm sort of just tapping it on. And with this brush, because it has both natural and synthetic fibres, it's actually very good for cream-based products. And I don't think I'll have to use my finger. Actually, I think this blends out really well using this brush. But if you don't have a brush that has a mixture of fibres like this one, then you just can put it on using your finger. But I think this went on really well using this brush. So if you have a brush like this, definitely use it for applying this product if you got your hands on these single cream shadows. Now, because these are cream and I haven't tried them out yet, they may crease. So if you just wanted to wear this shadow by itself, and you could, I think this is a really lovely shade, then I'd probably, maybe with a really light powder over the top, or perhaps some sort of eyeshadow that just has a very fine, like a topper sparkle, and just tap it over the top. That would probably help it to stay put. And I don't think I said, but this is limited edition, and this is number 112. Now let's take a look at the eyeshadow quad. I think this looks really beautiful. So Suqqu have described this collection as the Sunflower Wonder collection, and I think that both quads represent the sunflower really beautifully. This one here, I think, is a great representation of the actual flower of a sunflower. I think this is really, really beautiful. I haven't even swatched this quad yet, so it is in pristine condition. So I'll just hold up with the light turned down a little bit so you can take a closer look. And this eyeshadow quad is made in Japan, and it has a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening. So in this quad, you've got some beautiful pale pinks. You've also got what looks like to be an aubergine shade, and then of course that really gorgeous yellow. So I'm going to swatch this on my arm, and it's going to be left to right and top to bottom. So I'll start off with the first shade. Normally the first shade in these Suqqu quads, they are more like a topper. So I'll just go over that again, but this is really beautiful. It's a really gorgeous, it's a pale pink. And next is like a pale pink satin, but it's got a little bit of peach to it as well. So I'll just go over that again. And then we've got this really beautiful yellow. And then finally we've got this aubergine shade, and it looks to be like a little bit of purple in there. And when I move my arm, you can also see some pink in there as well. So I've just turned down the light so you can take a good look at the shades. Again, this is the quad here, this is the single, and the swatch left to right and top to bottom. So this single shadow doesn't seem to be creasing yet, but of course it's only been a few minutes, but I thought it might start to crease fairly quickly, but it's not. But I think this is a really lovely shade. It's sort of it's like a mustard shade, but not with that yellow. It's actually really, really pretty. So now let's try on this really gorgeous quad. I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the Crease Pro, and I'm going to start off with this shade here. And I'm just going to put this all over the lid. Then I'm going to take the reference number 14 and go into this shade here. I'm going to put this just on the outer corner as well, but I'm also going to put some in the inner part as well in a minute. But first of all, I'll just blend this out using this reference 14 brush. Then I'm just going to go to the mini booster, mainly because it's a bit smaller, so I can fit it in this area a bit easy. So I just want to put a little bit through here and just slightly up here as well. These shadows, just like other Suqqu ones I've tried, they just blend absolutely beautifully. I'm going to take the reference number 3 into this shade, and I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the flat definer, and go into this yellow shade here, and I'm going to put that through. Put that through the center, and I'll just take it up here slightly as well. Such a pretty shade, really, really lovely. So I'm just going back to the reference 14, and I'm just going to blend that in so it all looks seamless. And generally with these Suqqu eyeshadows, they go on very softly, and I think they're really gorgeous. Generally you can build them up. So I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the pencil one. I'm going to go back into the shade, and I'm just going to try and build up the shade just a little bit on the outer corner. I'm not going to worry about it in the inner, just on the outer corner. So it does build really, really beautiful. And then I'm going to build it a little bit under here as well, just mainly through here. Then I'm going to take the reference 3, I'm going to go back into this yellow shade, and I'm going to put a little bit of that just through here. And then finally I'm going to use the topper shade. I love topper shades in eyeshadow quads, and the Suqqu ones in particular, they just add something to that final look. So putting it on with my finger, and I'm just going to just tap it all over the lid, and it just adds that really beautiful sparkle but not chunky or glittery. It just looks really beautiful, and I think it gives just a really gorgeous ethereal look. And I'm going to put some of the topper in the inner corner as well. So I'm going to use the applicator that came with this quad. These little sponge tips, especially the pointed ones, are quite good for this. So I'll just dip it in there very carefully. The thing is with these sponge applicators that do come with a variety of quads, I tend to use this one the most, that is a little bit more pointed. It picks up a lot more product, and you can also be a lot more precise, especially around this part of the eye. When I used the shadow and just tapped it over the top, you just get this very light, just this gentle sparkle, but you can definitely get more payoff, especially by using something like this applicator tip. So I never used to use these that came with the quads, but I do tend to use them sometimes, especially when it comes to the inner corner. So now I'm just going to put on some eyeliner and mascara, and then I'll be back and we'll take a look at the blush. So I just put on a small amount of eyeliner, just very close to the lash line. I think this is really beautiful. What a gorgeous color story, and these shadows are just so beautiful. They give this soft ethereal look to the eyes, and I think this color story is absolutely gorgeous. It always surprises me with the Suqqu quads, and I understand why they are so popular, and the limited editions do sell out just so quick. When you first look at the 4 colors sometimes that Suqqu has in their quads, you think this may not work or it looks a little bit odd, but they always look beautiful. All 4 shades always just work really beautifully. I think that this base works really well under the eyeshadow. It is a cream, but it has a little bit of tackiness to it, and I think it makes the eyeshadow come to life, and I was really pleased that I was able to put it on with a brush as well. Just absolutely beautiful. So now let's take a look at the blush that I got, and I picked up number 139, and out of the 2 blushes, this is the one that is more of a rosy brown. This is such a beautiful shade. It is a gorgeous, as I was saying, it's a rosy brown, and I think there may be a hint of a pink in there as well. I haven't tried this, so I will hold it up with the light down a little bit closer so you can take a good look at it before I start swatching it. So just like with the single cream eyeshadow and the quad, this is made in Japan. This is also limited edition and has a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening. And this is the Suqqu, this is the pure colour blush. This isn't the melting powder formula that they've now discontinued because they had issues, I think, sourcing the ingredients for that. But these blushes are still really beautiful, and they have this really gorgeous gradient. So what I'll do is I'll swatch from the deep and middle and light, and then I'll do a swatch of all mixed together. So this is at the deeper end, and these do have a really gorgeous sheen, and it is a really beautiful rosy brown. So now I'm just going to swatch in the middle. So this is the middle part of the eyeshadow, and here is the lighter end. I'll just go over that bit again so you can take a look. And this is with all 3 shades mixed together. So when you mix them all together, it's more like the middle swatch there. Really beautiful. And that's with the lights turned down a little bit. The deepest, the middle, the lightest, and a swatch of all the blush together. So I'm going to take the Chukka, this is the F03, and I'm just going to very lightly just sweep through all 3 shades. and it is quite pigmented. There's quite a lot of payoff. Such a beautiful shade. It's like other blushes that are probably more of my favorites that I have. They're a brown, more of a rose in there with a hint of pink as well. And the sheen on this is just really, really beautiful. This is such a beautiful, beautiful shade. What I'm going to do is just take my finger and I'm just going to go into the lightest part here and just see if we can get just a little bit of a highlight through here. It's probably going to be more subtle. Just really, really gorgeous. Now, out of the two lipsticks, I did pick up the cooler one, so I'll use that in my next video when I use the Suqqu Quad, the one with the really beautiful greens in it. So the lipstick that I ended up putting on is a Chanel one, and it is the L'Extrait lipstick. And they are so annoying because you have to pull them out to see the number of the shade, and I still couldn't see it. So when I figure it out, I will have that listed down below as well. But I think it looks beautiful with this overall look. So what do I think of this quad and blush and the single eyeshadow? Absolutely gorgeous. I think they are beautiful. As I was saying before, I'm always surprised with the Suqqu eyeshadow quads. What can seem like an odd color story, or one that may not look great with all four shades together, I think it is really beautiful. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow quad. I really had my eye on the green one and I'm dying to try that one. But this one has really surprised me. This is really, really beautiful. That aubergine shade is just gorgeous. And I love the yellow as well. If you really want to build up the yellow, you can, because these shadows are buildable. But just when I put it on just with the one layer, I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And the blush is just beautiful. As I was saying, one of my favorite shades, that rosy brown. There's a hint of pink in there, and I just think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I am thrilled with everything that I've picked up so far. I can't wait to use the other single cream eyeshadow, the one that's more cooler, and that beautiful green eyeshadow quad. I'll be using the same blush in the next video because I didn't pick up the other one. I wasn't able to get my hands on it, but I will be using one of the new Suqqu lipsticks as well. So that's it for today's video. I'd love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.